Hello everyone, my name is Cami and welcome to my channel, Cami's Corner. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back on my channel. We do mainly Bath & Body Works and fragrance content with a sprinkle of lifestyle content, but in today's video, we have a review of the Bath & Body Works Rich Espresso Fine Fragrance Mist. Actually, the perfume mist, my bad. But Bath & Body Works has been coming out with tons of new fragrances, and I'm really struggling to keep up. So this week is going to be very heavily focused on reviewing fine fragrance mists. And in today's video, we're just going to be talking about the Rich Espresso perfume mist. I did recently do a video of the Vanilla Cafe, and I compared that fragrance to a lot of other fragrances, including this one. So if you're looking for comparisons, just go check out that video. I didn't want to rehash that because I felt like it was kind of redundant. So we're just going to be talking about the fragrance, and this is the Rich Espresso, and this is kind of like part of their wellness line. I love the perfume mist, and I actually posted a ranking video of these last week. So if you're interested in that, go check that out. But this is the scent Rich Espresso. It says it is fragrance with notes of dark roast coffee and hazelnut froth for a smooth, rich scent. How are these different from fine fragrance mists? I don't know. I've looked at the ingredients briefly and they look very similar, but this fragrance is so good. But before we get into the scent, if you're new to my reviews, I dedicate a full day wears test and write down notes with timestamps and give you guys my thoughts. I am only testing out the mist. If you layer with a similar scent body cream or some kind of moisturizer, your scent will last longer. And just remember, scent is subjective, so my reviews are kind of just a guide to see if whether or not you even want to check out the fragrance. But I do recommend everyone try scents for themselves because we all have different sniffers and different likes and dislikes. Something you love, I might hate, and something I love, you might hate. So definitely smell these items for yourselves, as this is just a guide and we all spray differently. So, and just for you guys to know, I will show you how I spray my mist. I try to spray a little on my clothes directly and a little bit on my skin directly as well. Spray a little bit on my clothes as well as my skin because your skin chemistry does change a fragrance. But this is the Rich Espresso, and this scent, you guys, ooh, so good. This one, I'm going to get another one eventually because I just want to drown myself in this because it smells amazing. But let's get into the review. I first sprayed this one at 6:17 in the morning, and I wrote it is a nice, rich, deep coffee fragrance that is great for layering. I tested out some layering combos in that perfume ranking video, and this one is going to be a staple for layering because it is just like a basic, deep, rich espresso with just a little bit of hazelnut. I don't think this fragrance is very hazelnut heavy. I think this is more of like the espresso bean kind of scent, which I absolutely love. Definitely like a dark roast. It smells amazing. I will say the scent bubble was not great on this one. I feel like only you can smell it. This isn't like going to project across the entire room. It was definitely more of a smaller scent bubble and isn't the super strongest on the first spray. I would give it like a 7.5 out of 10. I feel like you really need to go in with a heavy hand on this one to really get that punch of fragrance that you might be looking for. And it is definitely a 7.5 out of 10 on my skin, like I said, and it is richer on my skin. It gives a more rich, deep espresso vibe on my skin, and on my clothes, I get a little bit more of that nutty, sweet hazelnut vibe, which is not bad, but I will say this is like mainly a really heavy coffee fragrance. So if you don't like the smell of coffee, I definitely would not recommend this, and I would pick up something different because this one's definitely like 90% coffee, but I love that. That is like my total vibe. So we love that. So at 6:57, about 40 minutes after I first wore it, it was still the same strength as when I first sprayed it on. Not much happened there. And then at about 7:30, about an hour and 10 minutes after I first sprayed it, it went down just a little bit in strength at 6.5 out of 10. And then at 8 o'clock, about 2 hours into my wear test, it was a 5 out of 10, and it was completely gone at 8:45. So this one lasted like 2.5 hours, which again, I'm paying $5. I think that is fine for me. But because it has the perfume mist, with the word perfume, I feel like a lot of people are going to expect like a bang with longevity. And this one, unfortunately, just doesn't hit the nail on the head for longevity for me. Everyone has different body chemistry, and you might be able to smell it longer on your body or on your clothes. But for me, I just got like 2.5 hours, which could be disappointing because of the word perfume mist. So I don't really know why they're calling these perfume mists. They could just call it a fine fragrance mist and people would kind of expect the same longevity. So unfortunately, because they're labeling it as a perfume mist, I feel like I have to be a little harsher on the longevity. I'm going to say like a 5.5/6 out of 10 because they're leading with the word perfume. You would just expect this to be stronger. And then my scent preference on a scale of 1 to 10, 10. I think this is a solid fragrance. There's literally nothing I would change about the fragrance. It is a rich espresso fragrance. They really hit it head on with this one. I think it's great. I love the coffee vibes. It's just amazing. Super, super great. Overall, we're going to give it like a 7.5 out of 10 just because that longevity really pulls it down for me. I love the fragrance, but unfortunately the longevity is not there. And I think it's kind of misleading to call it a perfume mist when it's not as strong as a perfume. But that's just my personal thoughts. And like I said, I do talk about this fragrance and kind of compare it with other fragrances in my Vanilla Cafe review. So I'm not going to talk about like comparisons or anything like that. And this video is short and sweet, but I hope you guys enjoyed my quick little review of Rich Espresso. I would expect about 2 to 3 hours of wear tests and wear time out of this one. Maybe if you use a moisturizer, it might lock in the fragrance a little bit more, but I think this is more of a fragrance that you can pair with like perfumes or other fragrances, and I think it would be really, really nice. But that is all for my short and sweet review. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Comment down below, let me know what are your thoughts on the Rich Espresso fragrance, and let me know if you have picked this one up. And if you like seeing my face, Bath & Body Works, fragrance, or lifestyle content, make sure you consider hitting that subscribe button because it's free to you, helps me out so very much, and you guys can always change your mind later. Thanks again, you guys, for watching today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!